Hi everybody, it's Amy at Crafty Cat, and I'm here to continue work on our little paper bag booklet. So I have coffee stained this piece of white cardstock that I was in my scraps, and I decided I wanted to use for the card to go in the back part of this. I just spritzed it. I have coffee and a little bit of rubbing alcohol in a spray bottle for when I want to do just like a few little things instead of dunking it and all that. Plus it dries faster if you just spritz it. So just a little info there if you are wanting to do something like that. It's a lot easier, so I just use like a wash tub and then set it in there and spritz it. So works well. Alright, so I think we'll do like some collage on this. I hope you're all having an awesome day and doing fabulously. I'm doing pretty good today. I've already been to the mail and back and all that jazz. I kind of try to get that done. I'm going to use this one. Just using up scraps that I have left, and I love this Digi by Denise. It's beautiful. So let's see, what do I want? I think I will use that one because all the other ones are kind of in that blue area. So I think I'm going to take this bottom portion off. I'll save that because it has that little hydrangea tag on it. And I think I mostly want the dragonfly. So yeah, hope you're all doing well. I'm having a pretty good day. I had a very awful and horrible thing happen, which I am not happy or thrilled about at all. But poor Fern, I sent her journal, her Victorian journal, and apparently customs, for what reason to me I have no idea, snipped the signature strings. So I feel awful. I have been making myself sick over the whole topic. I mean, I know it's not my fault. I packaged it all up really nice. It was tied closed, you know, all that. It wasn't anything that I did, but I feel sick about it. And all that work just ruined, essentially. So I'm not sure that I will be sending more journals. I mean, I'll do ephemera or maybe like an altered book, that type of thing, anywhere that it has to go through customs, because I don't understand how or why you would do that. I mean, I know there's certain things that they're looking for and whatever. I mean, I know there's things they have to do, but I don't understand how snipping those strings would have found anything, you know, if there were anything to be hidden there, that they couldn't have seen with the strings intact. So I don't know. I'm just completely sick over it. So I've been thinking about it for a few days. And I think that's just what I'm going to have to do, is just not send stuff. And I feel horrible because it's not, you know, customer's fault. It's not my fault. It's none of us. But that is just the most awful thing, I think. I don't understand why that would be done. So maybe, you know, I don't know. If somebody works for customs that knows, or knows somebody that does, I would love to know why that kind of thing would be done. But anyway, for now, until I don't know when, but I think I'll just, if I'm shipping out of the country, it's just going to have to be things that, you know, aren't very big, or I don't really know. I don't know what to say about it. I just feel horrible for Fern. I feel horrible because all that time and work and everything, it just feels like throwing it in the trash. So, and you know, Fern loves it, and she's been awesome. It's not her. I'm just sick about it. I just can't believe that that is what the fate of that journal was. So, anyways, that's not a fun topic, so I'll stop. But, yeah, I hope you guys are doing better than that. I mean, I'm having a good day. I'm feeling better because, like I said, I've kind of feel like I've come to some sort of decision on that. I feel like that needs something a little more colorful on there. So that part makes me feel good to come to decisions. I like that. I like it when I do that. But yeah, I mean, it stinks for everybody involved, basically, to have to deal with that. So maybe we'll use a little music paper to get a little pink in there. I don't know what I did with my glasses. I always do this. Oh, there they are. I need to, like, just tape them in my head. They're everywhere. They're everywhere in my house, like everywhere. But I still manage to lose them all the time. I think I'm going to take the top part off. I want this piece. I'm not going to see very much of that. I probably should have. Is the other side better? Oh yeah, the other side has more. Now I'm stuck. I'm going along, okay, and then I get stuck. This lace would be better, since I ripped that now and don't have the piece that I need. Yeah, maybe that's what I'll do. Yeah, it's just funny how you get kind of attached to those pieces, and it's, you know, silly, but you kind of do get attached to them. And you just want them to get there all perfectly wonderful and just like when they left kind of thing. But it doesn't always work that way. Alright, so this is going to be a fun little booklet, I think. And it won't be going far. I could just drive it to her. It made me completely freaked out too. I had shipped out Eva's this morning. She's just like a state over from me though, or down from me, whatever. Down and over, I guess. But anyway, I was nervous to ship hers off this morning. It's just silly, I know, but it's just one of those things, I guess. I'm going to tear the top of this. I didn't realize it had a straight cut on it. So yeah, poor Gail. I like contacted her because I was just a wreck, and Denise. But yeah, thank you guys so much for your guidance and support on that whole thing. That was awesome. You guys are amazing. Well, you're all amazing, of course. But it's nice to have people who do the same thing, you know, so that you can commiserate with each other, I guess. And I contacted Gail mostly because she's been doing this longer than I have. And I just didn't know if she would have some advice, and of course she's amazing, so she helped me feel much better. So I'm very thankful for my friends. Okay, so let's get that glued down. Alright. And this isn't a super exciting thing today, I guess. I need to go in that just sort of mindless mode for a little bit. I'm working on that button digi right now too, so I've been thinking about that a lot. So I sometimes need to kind of do like just collaging and the sort of more mindless things of creating, I guess you'd call it. It's the relaxation technique for me. After I do a journal sometimes, or a few journals or whatever, because it you know, it uses a lot of your creative energy, I guess. And so it's nice to just make something fun like this for a friend and relax a bit. I mean, it's always relaxing. I love crafting and creating and all of that, but so yeah, just hopefully this will be done today, and then I am gonna start working more on my niece's. That's my next project. My niece's, my goodness, why I can't remember the name of that, I don't know. Oh, guest book. Every time I go to say that, I can't remember what it's called. The brain, telling you. So yeah, I'm going to work on that, and I'll show you guys when I get done doing this, if I can manage to remember. So this is some of my KoolAid dyed paper I did like a year ago, and you just take those packs of KoolAid that you find at the grocery store that don't have the sugar added. You know, they're just the flavor packs or whatever you want to call it, and then you add sugar to it. It's those little packs like that, and so you don't have the sugar making it sticky or anything, so it's not like, ew, KoolAid, yuck. And you can do, food coloring works really good too, so if you don't, you know, if you don't even want to mess with the KoolAid thing, because it is that fruity smelling stuff, but you can just use food coloring, works really good too with like some water. For, you know, however, whatever darkness kind of thing that you want it to have. So that's another easy way to get some color in your journals, or if you just, you know, want your pages all different colors, or you can do all the beet dyeing, turmeric dyeing, you know, all those kind of dyes as well that people do, and I don't do those. So I don't know a whole lot about that. I mean, I'm assuming obviously you have to like boil stuff down and do all that to get the color. But yeah. Oops, is that 2? That is 2. This will make a nice journaling card because it's that thicker, a little bit thicker paper at the back of the book. This was a dollar store book. I found a purple book, you guys. Look at that color. Isn't that great? So that's probably going to be my next journal, is going to be that one after I do the one for my niece, because hers isn't really a journal. It's a big ledger that I found at an antique store, and we're turning it into her guest book. So that'll be a little bit different than what I normally do, but I'll show you how I've been doing it, because it's long. And I did do one right before Christmas, like a trial run, just to see how I was gonna put it together. And it's my Christmas ledger style journal is what it is on my channel. So if you want to check that out. I should have inked around that paper, I forgot. I mean, I remembered as I was gluing it down, but then, you know, has glue all over it. Not that I haven't done that before, but it's good to write on that, and I'll stitch around it so that it'll look more finished. Got all kinds of stuff sitting here. So that's gonna go in this back pocket. That's fun. And then I thought we could do a little decorate. Oh, we need to do this too. I want to do some pockets on there. Where did I put the big pocket for that? There it is. Okay, so this is out of Denise at Wondubar Crafts. Spring Blooms Friendship Digi. And I also have, I'm going to do kind of one of these pocket pages. I just am having too much fun with these pocket pages, I know. But anyway, this is another piece of my collage. I don't know what my problem is today. I cannot talk. Okay, so I'm going to do something kind of like that, and then I've got some pockets already, or tags already done to go in the pockets. So I'll put this one on first, and this one I did do the back. It could have been a journaling card, but that's okay. I'm kind of liking just doing the whole one side of the page and then cutting it up, because then you're not backing a bunch of pieces that don't need to be backed. So that's the way I think I'm going to do them from now on. I mean, it's a great idea. If you know you're going to use them all as tags and journaling cards and things like that, then the backing it portion is an awesome idea. But I think for the way I like to do it, I'll be just doing the fronts and then adding stuff to the back later of the ones that are going to be tags or whatever. And this was just all paper that I had in my stash, like Tim Holtz scraps and stuff like that. And that was a scrapbook paper. It's going to go down there. And I just printed this on parchment paper. But if you wanted it on a thicker paper, by all means, do that. I'm going to get that flat glued down. These are really nice with these like gusseted pockets, because that makes a nice spot for the cards and things to go in. Okay. And I know I put a lot of glue on there, but I do have an uneven surface because I'm going up onto this thicker card and then, you know, back down onto just the paper bag surface. So, just want to make sure it stays where I put it. So I just did, this is out of my purple digi, and I covered, it says happy birthday up here, but I covered it with a butterfly because this isn't for her birthday. But, you know, if you want to leave it as happy birthday, because that's what it was a happy birthday postcard. And then this is Denise's digi, and I'm not adding anything to those because I just think they're pretty, you know, just like they are. I did back it and everything, so it's going in there. And then in this tall pocket, I think I'm going to do this tag that's, I just realized that's a tiny bit crooked. Medieval Mirage on the front, and then it's just backed with some book page. And I thought maybe we could put a little something up in this part up here because it doesn't have, you know, a whole lot. I'm sorry, I'm just holding that down. Oh, I wanted to add this ticket. This is the ticket I had left over, and I thought it would be kind of fun to put it there. So I did get the ticket dies, Jamie. She was like, just go get the Tim Holtz ticket dies. I always have to do things the hard way. That goes there. And then we'll let that dry and figure out what we want to put on. Don't want to put it on my glue book though. Figure out what we want to put on this. So let's see. We've got a doily. Could do a doily. And Rachel's. I just want to make sure that wasn't one that I had one on the back too. Like that, and then what else? I feel like I'm butterflied out. Let me see if I've got a bird or something that's smaller that would work. There's already a flower on there, so I really want another flower. Got Tracy Fox's birds, fussy cut birds. I ended up cutting his tail off. That's going to be the problem. That's not a very big card. Oh, I could use these little guys. I mean, they go all the way down into the flowers. I could bring them up a little higher. And if I had to snip off that, that's not a big deal. Could even just use one of them too. Maybe I'll do that. Just use... That way I can still use that bird. And I'll use this one by itself. Alright, what am I doing? What's my name? Where am I? I'm gonna have one of those days. Well, I kind of always have one of those days, to be honest, but it seems worse when I'm on film. I swear. I don't think I will ever just do this whole filming thing smoothly. I'm a little too ditzy, I guess, or something. I don't know. I mean, some days go okay, but there's a lot of dinghy happening. But you guys are awesome, and you know this about me, so you tolerate me, which is great. If nothing else, I give you a laugh every once in a while, so you know. It's always good to laugh. And I know we all struggle with that, all of us that do videos. It's like, wow, are you like with it today at all? The answer is no. Oops, I messed that all up, didn't I? I'm gonna have to come hang it off, and I'll just cut it before I mess it up further. Why I did that. Okay, so put this up here. And since I'm not doing a whole lot of other stuff, I'm just going to use the regular glue. Like, I'm not adding fabric and stuff like that, but you definitely could do that. It would look cool with some fabric or cheesecloth or something of that nature under there. So we'll just cut this right down like this. Okay. Yeah, I like that. That looks pretty. Very pretty. Love those birds, Tracy. I mean, I don't think she watches me, but if she did, I love the birds. Maybe somebody else will tell her. I love the birds. Oops, this needs to get glued down so it sticks. Not much happening around here. I mean, it's nice. Trust me, I am always very pleased when life is calm and there's not tons happening other than my disaster. And I'll probably stitch around that and maybe stitch something up there. I don't know, maybe not. I might just leave it like it is because it fits real nice against the page there. And then we need to just maybe add some decorations. So I've got that beautiful butterfly. I also was thinking some of the little flags from Denise at Wondubar Crafts. Get a hold of those. I just have a whole mess of stuff all around me because I just finished that journal and I haven't cleaned up, and then I started doing the whole digi thing. I think I'm going to cut one shorter so that they're staggered instead of being one length like that. So I think I'll just snip that and I'll ink it a little bit. So that's one thing, you can make these little flags shorter, you know, if you are trying to get a staggered look, if you want to use more than one. So just always remember that, because that can be a good look, you know, it just makes it a nice look when you do that. I'm not sure which one I want how here. I might do something kind of like that. Just stagger them a little, and then I'll probably glue them mostly at the top so that they can kind of be a little tuck. So we'll do maybe down the whole side of this one, and then across the top. And then on this side, I'm just going to do a little bit just to kind of have it hang on, and then when the other one, I wanted the other one under, huh? But that's okay, because I can still put it under because I didn't put glue there. So I'll just do this and put one of these like so. Yeah, that will work. So I'm going to go up this. No, I don't want to do that. Sometimes I got to think about this. I want it opened over there, so I need this side. So we're going to go this side and this side. And you don't need it all the way down at the bottom because you want it a little bit loose. I just don't like them too flappy, especially because I used the paper that I used. If I would have used like cardstock, I would leave the whole bottom not glued, you know what I mean? Or the whole, this whole side open and just glue at the top. But because they're a little bit of a lighter weight paper, I don't want them to get messed up. So I'm going to put a little bit of glue right along this edge. That's what I need to put it right there. So it'll just be like a tag tuck spot, like, you know, this kind of tag sort of thing. Instead of just being glued at the top. I just find that hangs on better instead of, you know, having it all loose and flapping, which works great if it's a stronger paper, but this one's all curvy. I think I'll use one of the smaller tags that Denise has in her kit, like these size ones. Could actually use a couple of them, really. Yeah, that's what I think I'll do. That'll just make a nice little thing there. Oh, I actually have some book page that still has part of the book attached. But it's nice on the back, and I like adding that old book page like that. I don't get it very often, so I'm going to use that. And I'll turn it this way. And then you can put these down, and they'll have a nice backing on them. Can you guys see? Yeah. So I want to use as much as I can, so I'm going to come all the way up to these words here. That'll give them some nice old color. These are so pretty, Denise. Just love them, love them, love them. I don't do a ton of nature stuff. I mean, I kind of, it's on and off, you know what I mean? Like, sometimes I use lots of it, and other times I don't. And so sometimes I think I forget about it, you know, if that makes any sense. You kind of get in your rut of what you're using and you forget about stuff. I did was it last summer or summer before? I used quite a bit of botanical type stuff, but I can't believe this is going to be my third summer in June, you know, starting in June, of doing YouTube, which is crazy because, like I've said before, I never thought anybody would watch my channel. I just thought it'd be like, oh yeah, whatever. So it's just kind of wild to me to think about that it's going to be my third summer doing this. Just thank you guys. You're just amazing. Everybody's so supportive and kind and wonderful. I mean, so many of the people that I've met that do this, I've met because of YouTube. I don't really know anybody in my area. I mean, I'm sure there are people. I just specifically, like friends and stuff that I have, don't do this. So that makes it kind of rough because you can't just, like, you know, call up your friend and go hang out and make stuff, because most of the stuff that my crafty friends make is a lot different than this. So, I mean, I have friends that do the like the woodworking, painting on wood, that kind of thing, for signs and whatnot. And then I have friends that do Stampin' Up! And all that, which is awesome. I mean, and I like doing all that stuff too, but this paper really is my thing, and so this just really fits my personality because it's mainly that vintage look, or the, you know, old look, which I've always been into, even before I got into junk journaling, scrapbooks and all that. I was more into the vintage look of it than the more modern look. So there's a little pocket, and let's see what else we got going on. I'd like to go a few pages and then maybe do something on a page. So yeah, just blabbering on about whatever, but this will be pretty on there as a pocket. So let's see, do I want to put something else like kind of under it, because I printed it on parchment, and so I don't want it to be not very strong. Kind of like, this is just an old journal entry piece of paper from like the 1800s. So I like to use that because it just looks cool. So maybe I will glue those together just to add a little strength to that, since I printed it on parchment. I mean, parchment holds up pretty dang well. It doesn't, I mean, it tears okay, but it doesn't rip as easily as a lot of other papers. So it's pretty sturdy paper, really. I mean, for, you know, a thin single weight type paper. So yeah, like Rachel's old letters would be great if you wanted to kind of do a look sort of like this. She's got those old letters, and they would look really good behind this stuff. This is just one that I had sitting out here, so I'm using that one. It just goes this way. Get it going the right way, Amy. Okay, I'm going to put some glue just kind of on that side over there, because we don't want to glue the whole pocket down to stuff we don't want it glued to. Let's see, yeah, I'm kind of at the edge of my work area here. Come over a little bit more, I think. Alright. I think that'll work. Did I get, yeah, I got the whole thing. And then I'm just gonna do some glue kind of around the edges there to make a pocket. So I'm sure, obviously, you guys could totally figure this out. But it's fun to hang out. I have a lot of you that have said that you craft with me, and I think that's so awesome because I know a lot of us don't, you know, have friends that do this or whatever, like I was just saying. So it's fun when you get to, you know, kind of hang out with somebody that likes to do the same stuff you do. Alright, so that's just a little pocket, and what could we put in there? We could put a couple more of those little tags. I didn't print out, I don't think, well, I did print out the big tags, but remember my printer was making everything ugly. So I don't think a big tag would fit in there anyway, right? Yeah, I don't have any, yeah, because it kept putting lines through everything. That was annoying. I can use this one in this though. That'd work. That's Medieval Mirage. It wants to just curl right there. It just wants to. Okay, what could we put on that? Let's see. Got this butterfly from Rachel at Roxy, or yeah, that's a butterfly. Hummingbird from Rachel. I could tear that and use some of that. That's in her Victorian fussy cuts, I think is what she's calling those. Sorry, I'm horrible with some of the names. I really try to remember everybody's stuff and, you know, tell where I got it and stuff, but every once in a while it's just hard to remember the name of something. But you'll definitely, it's in her, I think it's pretty sure it's Victorian fussy cuts, so you should be able to, you know, find it fairly easily. Yeah, I like that. What else could we put in with that? Oh, I have some paper that I accidentally printed on and didn't want to print on. It was my transparency paper. And so I was like, I'm just going to tear parts of it out and I can use it because it's my good transparency paper. So yeah, maybe we'll use a piece of that. I hate when I do that. I forget to take something out of my printer and then print something completely not related to junk journaling or anything on it. But sometimes that kind of stuff happens for a reason, I guess. It's just very aggravating when it happens. I use that one, or I don't know, let me see here, what do I got? I think I'm going to try this one. Just like the way it's ripped. Just ink it up a little bit to make it. Sometimes it's just fun to have like numbers and things like that. I don't want it down there because I end up covering up part of this hummingbird, so I don't want to do that. So yeah, totally random, just some letter that I accidentally printed on transparency paper. But I don't know, it just kind of looks cool because you can see through it and all that. Alright, so that one's going to go in there. I'll do a couple more. And I have these from Rachel too, her they're like labels, and I can't remember the name of those either, I'm sorry. But they are just labels, and the if you look at her site, you just see that these labels, so there isn't anything else with them, so you'll definitely be able to find those. I don't like those flowers with it. but we could put like friendly, it says. So maybe I'll add one of those. Let me see, do I have, my stamps are getting thin. I need to get some more stamps. I have this one that is actually not very old, but we can make it look old. Yeah, I'll do that. That's what I'll do. I just cut it off of an envelope that I had. So you don't have to have old ones. I mean, it's awesome if you can get some old ones, but I'm kind of doing everything on this side, huh? Did I? Or did I do? No, that one I did on that side. Okay. I was like, uh-oh. I do that. I tend to put everything over on this side. I don't know what that's about, but just the way the crazy brain is. That's why I have to tell myself when I'm doing digis, put stuff on this side too, because that's the side that, you know, when you're folding a page or something, you usually want it on this side so that you can see the best image first, or whatever you might want to say. But yeah, I just forget. And my brain wants to put stuff over there. Alright, got all that aged. Where's my lid? And that is getting ink all over it because I left it sit there. Okay. I'm going to mostly do this just like a regular old pocket. Because we're not putting anything massive in these, so they aren't going to have to hold a lot of weight or anything like that. It's just a little mini one. I have that like, oops, something like that, yeah. Alrighty, what are we at for time? Oh, 43. It's not awful. I'm going to squish this a little bit. Because that's the way I like it. I don't know what I'm going to put in there. Let's see, what do we got? Oh, I could use one of my, will it fit? Oh yeah, it will, but it also says best wishes to your birthday. I didn't realize that I did so many birthday type cards, but I just liked them with the purple. Wishing you many happy returns of the day, that would work. And it goes nicely with this paper over here. So let's back that. Do I have? No. I was hoping I had enough of the old book page left to make that work, but I could back it with the purple. That'll be pretty. Just to thicken it up a little bit. A little bit thin, again, parchment paper. But sometimes I want these things on the parchment paper. If you're wondering, okay, so why did you print it on parchment paper then? I want it like that because when I collage, I don't want these on really thick paper if I'm going to use them for collage. And since I wasn't sure what I was using them for, I went ahead and did them on parchment, because then I know I can back them or I can use them in collage. So that's the method to the madness that is my brain. Just never know what I'll do, so. seems to work best for me. I mean, I do sometimes print them on thick card if I know for sure I'm going to use them like this, but that will work wonderfully. And on this one, maybe I'm just going to do a butterfly. That is a big butterfly. That's fussy cut out of Denise's paper, so it is meant to be like more of a background one or whatever, but I think it'll be okay. I think I'm just going to straight up glue that one down because I don't want... I think it might need just a little something with it. I'm just making sure these are all just something behind, I guess, is what I'm wanting. Something kind of like that. And I need to ink that butterfly a little bit so that it looks a little bit more, I mean, it's got those nice kind of creamy, it's on like that creamy colored paper a little bit, but just to make sure it looks like its edges are done. Because I wouldn't want its edges undone. This is already pretty crusty looking. It's the great part about old paper. I love old book paper. It's just great. That's why I was so excited when I found that manila drawing paper, you know, for kids, because it really feels to me very much like old book page. So that's why that was so wonderful to find. And when you ink it, it looks really cool. I like to coffee dye it. I have coffee dyed it, but it changes the feel of it. It makes it not as, I don't want to say fuzzy because it's not fuzzy, but that's sort of that feel of that old book page, that sort of, I'm going to say fuzzy because I don't know what else to say, but that's sort of the way it feels, like soft, like a soft fuzzy blanket is sort of how it feels. But it changes that when you coffee dyed it. It gets a little more smooth. So I'd rather just coffee dye regular paper if I'm gonna coffee dye something. Alright, I think I'm gonna go one more. It doesn't really matter. And if you're tired of watching me do this, I understand. You can you don't have to stay and watch me do the whole thing if you don't want to. I think I'm just going to make that into a pocket. That's from my the purple digi. And a new piece of paper already. I got glue everywhere. My friend likes gardening and outdoors and all that, so this was just kind of a good fit for her to do these sort of things. So do that, maybe. What else could I put with that? I had another, oh, what's this one? My thumbnails get all inky. I don't know, let me glue this one down and then I'll try to figure out what else I want to put with it. And in it, we may end up, or I'll finish this on my own and then come back and show it to you. So that, because I know this gets a little tedious because I'm not doing anything new. Got that one left. I have to cut some more tags. That's too big. Yeah, I could do something like that, I think would work. I don't know why. I don't know why I can't just leave it the way it is. So if you're like, why can't you just leave it like that? I can, but I don't want to. So it's just one of those things. Can't be explained. People often ask, what is the purpose of, you know, collage or this or that? It's like, I don't know. It just is fun. It's relaxing and it's fun, and I love making journals, and, you know, they're for writing in or whatever. You can use them for whatever, really. Whatever you want to use them for. Wow, I totally smeared glue everywhere, all over that. So there's no, like, right or wrong, or you can only specifically do this with that, or it's really not like that at all. It's really like you can do whatever you want. You can have it as an art piece. You can write in it every day. You can write in it once a month. You can draw a picture in it. You can, some of them you can paint in. I wouldn't necessarily advise that with the thinner paged ones, just because, you know, you might end up with a big fat mess. But what else was I going to say? What did I do with that other little paper? I don't know. Anyway, I'll use this one. But there's just so many things you can do, and like the purpose of collage, you know, we make pockets and tags and all kinds of stuff out of those collage sheets. But again, they can be art, like you can frame it if you want, or it can be just a means to relax. Like, if I wasn't doing this as, like, you know, my job, I would probably collage just to relax, because it's just very relaxing, and maybe give gifts out of the stuff that I make from the collage. But yeah, I mean, there's just loads of things you can do with, you make cards, because I did make those cards out of the collage paper that I made. So there is just lots you can do with it. Really, it's all limited by your own, you know, limits or imagination or whatever, so you can do whatever you like. Is there enough room for one more? I think so. So I'm going to put this on the old book page and use up my mess of glue over here of what I was doing. Sometimes when it gets down near the end, or, you know, if I've used it for a while, it's almost like it warms up and gets melty, and then it just is gloppy all over the place, and it's really easy to cut into it with the edge of the paper. At least that's sort of the way I feel like it is. I don't know if that's really a thing or not, but well, I'm going to work on that digi the rest of today. I'm hoping that my son can get it on the computer this weekend, and it'll be out, you know, definitely by Monday, is what I'm trying to make happen. So that would be fun, because then I can use it for my next journal, maybe. Okay, so that one's going to go right in there. And I may put another little something in there. I'm going to show you guys that ledger, and then I'll move on and finish this book, and then I'll come back and show you it when it's all finished. All right, so this is the ledger that I found, and some of you may have seen this already, so I apologize if you've seen it, but it's a long one. It is, got my yardstick right here, I'm going to measure it. It's about 14 3/4 by almost, yeah, it's about 6. 14 3/4 by 6. So very long. Obviously, I'm not probably going to find paper for that. I mean, you probably could find some kind of paper, but my sister saved those little blue flowers, so we're going to put those in there. And then I have stitched the pages together, and a lot of you have probably seen this before. I've done this before, but it's either 2 or 3 pages, different sizes, you know, you can see those are different sizes, that are stitched right down the middle so that it'll make a long sheet, but then I leave these like this so that they're, you know, kind of flappy like that. And then this is Graphics Fairy, just a piece like that, and I'm just going to stitch that right in, and it'll probably be like a 5-hole pamphlet stitch. I'm going to turn it like this just so you can see. That's Graphics Fairy. And then there's the Medieval Mirage. So this one has 3 pages all stitched together. And then this one has 2, and then there's a single by itself, and then one of the actual ledger sheets that was in here, and then there's 2. So that's just kind of how it's going to go. So you'll have, what we're going to do is have the Polaroid pictures, you know, the Polaroid camera there, and people can snap a picture of themselves, and then hopefully they will write something in the journal as well, and then put their picture and write. And so that's kind of the plan of the whole thing. So anyhow, that is what I'm going to be working on next, and then I have another journal to do after that. So we will continue on with our projects. Thank you guys so much for joining me. I so appreciate all of you. You guys are just awesome, and I appreciate your support and help and guidance and just everything. So thank you, thank you. Have an awesome day. If you like my videos, please like and subscribe. Bye now.